Welcome back to another Choppa Solobitz, where we rely on pure aggression, questionable life choices, and absolutely zero breaks. Today we're running both dual wield and two-hand Choppa builds, and seeing which one survives the chaos better. This fight is a good example of a great weapon Choppa duel. After the pre-kite, I use Tired Already, and disorient the little tin can. My auto attack speed buff is up for a good part of the fight, so the autos land almost after every ability. Bleed 'em out and you're all bleeding now abilities stack for a solid amount of damage. I use Weakling Killer whenever possible to add that heavy hit, and Reckless Blow is my main strike. All of this adds up to a nasty amount of burst and pressure, forcing the opponent into a defensive playstyle. If you remember to use your toolkit properly, great weapon Choppa is a formidable foe. But it's also accident-prone and unforgiving. One mistake can collapse the entire fight. Normally, a pack of witch hunters wipes you before you press a single button, but this time their opener falls flat. I forgot to use Try and Hurt Me to lower their crit, but at least I got to start the fight with Rage and my auto attack buffs rolling. I try to keep them both in front of me and focus on the same target. I should have used my detaunt and debuffs better. Without the fall damage, I might have actually won this.
Knights got shields, dwarfs got grit. I got a weapon that don't ever quit. Sure it's slow and sure it's loud, but it makes me feel dead proud.
Shadow Warriors are surprisingly nasty opponents. They have an on-demand knockdown, they can kite, and they hit really hard. With dual wield, it's a bit easier, stronger parry and more pressure, even at some range. But it's still not smart to fight them out in the open. Use the terrain and force the melee engagement as fast as possible. Even in assault stance, a Shadow Warrior can put out respectable ranged damage. I'm still torn about what rules in a dual wield setup. I'm leaning toward using it. It lets me use utility and keep my knockdown without dropping my rage. If you like these solo bits, please subscribe, and let me know how I can make them even better. With a two-hand setup, it's a no-brainer. Most of the abilities you want to use will drop your rage. Most of your damage comes at full rage, so dropping it is costly. Tired Already and Try and Hurt Me are the core of your survival. Try and Hurt Me cuts the enemy's crit chance by 100, and Tired Already adds cooldowns to their abilities, so they can't spam the same skill over and over. Engineers are basically the bane of a Choppa. Their toolkit is so similar to a Magus that you rarely get to even touch them before you're dead. Sometimes you get lucky and land a snare, and that's your moment because they have no way to remove it. Usually they kite you in, punch you out, then disarm. That's the whole fight. I've started using the Absorb Morale more and more instead of the parry one, just because ranged opponents are so brutal for a great weapon Choppa. This one tried to be sneaky, but I had my morale up and was ready for it. Only the defensive spec engineers can actually withstand a Choppa in melee range. As mentioned earlier, dual wield is less bursty, but offers much steadier pressure. It's extremely strong against white lions. The high parry combined with riposte kills the pet quickly, and the AoE damage keeps pressure on the elf at the same time. I sometimes swap to dual wield the moment I see a white lion coming, even if I'm spec'd for great weapon. This one plays very heavily through self-healing, using Trial by Pain to spam hits and getting steady heal procs. Probably has flowing accusations as well, which lets him channel Trial by Pain almost non-stop. My AoE abilities have enough range that even when he takes distance, I can keep swinging. He dodges my furious Choppin with a quick stealth, and moments like that make me wonder if the heal channel is even worth keeping. You rarely get more than 1 or 2 ticks off anyway. At the end, he tries to jump on me with cover of the parry morale, but I've been saving my KD just for occasion. Choppa's KD is undefendable and goes through the parry morale. Just remember to move behind the enemy after, or he will keep parrying even when he is down. When a proper DPS witch hunter jumps on you, there's very little you can do. Their opener alone can hit for nearly 5,000 damage, and they often follow with repel blasphemy and the parry morale, making them immune to melee damage for another 11 seconds. As a Choppa without stacked parry, the only counter I've really found is chugging potions, and even that usually isn't enough. The bright side is that once you survive the initial burst, they actually take a ton of damage, and with our debuffs up, their output drops sharply. Choppa versus Slayer is probably the most fun matchup either class can have. Their toolkits are almost identical. Choppa gets a bit more utility in great weapon spec, while Slayer gets more damage thanks to much faster auto-attack speed. The winner usually comes down to smarter use of the heal channel, morale, and the knockdown. Against Slayers, I prefer the parry morale, because their damage burns through the absorb far too quickly. Remember, if you like these fights, hit subscribe. It helps more than you think. Warrior priests are a very random matchup. There aren't many tactics that work consistently. They heal channel every 9 seconds, and if it lands, they're instantly back to full. If it doesn't, that's your window to win. Their guilty soul alone can hit for thousands, and if you pre-kite for too long, you're already half dead from range damage before the fight even starts. Dual wield has an easier time here. It needs no pre-kiting, and usually has nearly double the parry of a great weapon build, so Divine Assault connects far less often. You can try cancelling the first Divine Assault with a knockdown, and then use either parry morale or absorb morale to survive the second one. If they happen to be around half health before their channel, you can sometimes burst them down during that gap. With a great weapon setup, you can make that kill window a bit wider by using Tired Already. Never give up, even if the fight looks grim. Choppa damage is very backloaded, so if you don't get to pre-kite, you often fall behind early. And then, once the rage fills, the real damage and utility come online. Not wasting abilities into parry morales or repel blasphemy is crucial. I use the aura add-on to track those, and I've made a short setup guide for it. The link is in the video description. Try not to cancel my own charge, so I use my CC immunity before I activate a charge. Flee is often the better option for catching people, because you can use abilities while keeping the speed buff. It just requires AP potions. I hope you enjoyed the clips. Please subscribe, and let me know what you think.